Wait, wait, wait. Huh?
You- It's already started recording, but that's okay, sir.
They'll edit right later.
Yeah, you can just say one, two, three, and start.
Okay, so we're starting with the video. One, two, and three. Good morning, everyone who's watching us live today on Facebook. This is me, Nirjang, and along with me, we have another assistant professor, Mr. Anil Philip, who's joining us. So it's going to be the two of us trying to discuss on the various aspects of the career opportunities that we actually have in BBA. So before we actually start off, we'll do a little bit of the happy waiting for uh, many other enthusiasts who are willing to join us. So before we actually start off, I would just like to call in Mr. Anil Philip to introduce himself, and so you guys get to know him much better because he's going to be one of a very important speaker as we progress with today's session. So, Mr. Philip, can we have you on screen, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I don't know how important I am, or even during the course of the presentation, but yes, will definitely give you a heads up on what BBA career is all about, the degree, and how relevant it is also, during this particular time as well, extraordinary times. So you need extraordinary degrees. Is BBA one for you? That's something that we can explore.
All right, sir. It's from to explore into all these things. I think most of our viewers are more interested at the moment to actually understand that how are we all coping up with this catastrophe and calamity that's actually struck planet Earth, and how are you coping up with it, Mr. Anil? Like, what are you been up to? I heard you doing a lot of cooking at home.
That's true. I am. I've learned a lot of cooking as well, but I'm fed up with this Dalgona coffee, recipes that come out in Instagram, though. I can't watch any more of them. But other than that, it's interesting to see, how the youngsters are keeping their time, and at least, they're not wasting their time doing something productive. If not for cooking, then at least some other activity. Some of them are into photography. I've seen some of our students. You've seen them as well, right, sir?
Oh yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes, yes. There's a
yeah,
lot of things that I've never expected them actually to be in,
true.
and
And finally,
considering
when they
this,
tag
yeah.
you, yeah, when they tag you finally at Instagram, that's when you get to know, oh my God, these guys have this kind of talents also.
Yes, yes, all the hidden talents coming up during this whole lockdown. I think we should
I,
have locked them down a long time ago for them to actually show up their talents. So
yeah, so
that's all. I guess we
how
all
many are there,
sort of.
sir? Three of them are here, I think. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I can see three of them, I think.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I can see a lot of people have actually are joining in. I can see people waving. I see somebody writing on the comment down there. I see
Yeah,
something or the other. That's great. So they're joining in. They're joining in. A lot of people joining in, and it's quite amazing to see how technology has changed, and we're on different part of the world, and then people are viewing us from different part of the country as well, not just the country, but from different aspects of different places of the globe, and that's
and
pretty interesting. That how
that's
we
true.
actually, yeah, we're doing online classes. We're,
That's true. I was going getting back to that as well, and how the students have also, taken up this challenge of, being online almost half a day every day from now on, right? And I guess that's also helped them to keep their mind, occupied in these kind of, academic activities. Plus, in our case, we are going to have a debate also, sir, tomorrow. That's what I heard.
oh yes, yes, there's going to be an
An
online
online
debate
debate.
also. A lot of people are there making online films as well, short films. Different departments
Yeah.
are actually putting in all their efforts, sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
showing off all their talents,
I know.
departmentalized centric talents. So it's pretty interesting, and it's quite nice to see that how we actually conducting these online classes, and irrespective of the technological glitches that we had in the initial time, we are actually covering up it now, and it's coming out to be pretty well. I mean, I'm excited about this whole technological advancement with due respects to the damage that the corona is doing, but I guess that's the way nature is working out its own strategies to maintain its own planet, and I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to stand by it and then just keep our fingers crossed and just hope for the best to happen.
No, no, I
So
completely agree. I completely agree, sir. And yeah, challenges will be there initially, but then that's why, this opportunity. I mean, a challenge is also an opportunity for us to, get ahead and seek out some new technologies which might actually work out for us. If not this, then maybe something else is there out there, right? So technological glitches will always be there initially, hiccups, no? Whenever you're um, uh, when you're actually trying to use a new technology, you'll always find some glitches or the other. It's all about whether you can go ahead with it, and whether you can actually proceed further with uh, the interest, at least, that you keep in your mind. I think all that is more than enough to bring about. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying over here.
Oh, no, no.
I
No,
really didn't know what I'm saying over here.
no, it makes complete sense. I guess we all are sort of stressed up, and I'm sitting in my living room here trying to figure out and trying to make sense, because this is one place I have never made sense. I've just been lying down on the couch and just watching movies, and here I am today trying to make sense. I'm trying to talk from different perspectives as well. It's pretty
No.
interesting to see all these things happening.
Yeah, that's true. Shall we get on with the presentation, sir? I think
Oh
there's a
yes,
lot of.
yes. I think a lot of people have actually joined in. So those who have just joined in, we are here to discuss about various career prospects that can actually have for the BBA and so on. So for BBA programs that we actually have to offer at Inspira Knowledge Campus. I'm sure that you are aware of the career options that you can possibly have. What we are here is to just then elaborate more and give you guys our experiences and how we actually did our degrees in the respective management areas, and then how we grew from there, and so on and so forth. So we'll just start off with a few synopsis of how this presentation is going to happen. So Anil sir, can you please start off with the presentation if you are here?
Yeah, I've already opened the presentation. I think I'm shared it already. So we start off with the contemplations. Basically, what's so special about this course, and whether you really need this, and why should anyone even bother for this kind of course, And finally, whether is BB a career-based degree, or is it just a run-of-the-mill course which you're just doing it just to follow the herd, the herd mentality? Is that what it is? That's what we're going to figure out, or at least that's what we're going to try to understand during this presentation, right?
Okay, yeah, that's really great, because I'm sure the first question that will come to everybody's mind is, should I even do a BBA in the first place? Is the same question I sort of asked myself in 1992 when I was asked to do a medical degree, and I said, can I actually become a doctor? So there are a lot of questions that comes and runs into our mind, and to wonder that why is it so important to actually do a BBA? Do we really need to do a BBA? And why? Yeah, and we're absolutely right about this. And can I make a career out of this whole of this 3 years that I'm going to put in of my life to sort of secure this degree for myself? But as we all know, as we can see, and we go from this next slide, that there are a couple of things that are needed to actually start a great business, if you all know. But then there are this very, very important, fundamental, rudimentary three things which are very important in order to start a great business, which Mr. Anil will also agree with me, is that we need a great idea and
I will second you on that. We did an exceptional idea.
exceptional idea. Thank you for that word, sir. We need a very sound knowledge and expertise of that particular area. And very importantly, we need a sound business model, because that's what will carry it forward. That's what create the locomotion. Now, all these three things basically comes from when you actually do a degree program in BBA. These
Yeah.
are the three fundamental pillars on which the BBA program in most of the courses, colleges, universities, or countries, these are the three fundamental pillars on which the BBA is actually based on, is to create the innovativeness, the creativeness, and the initiativeness among all students who actually aspire to be business person in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at any of these giga technologies or giga businesses that have started up, it's all started from a great idea, a gap that they have found in the service sector, or some kind of, an innovative technology which has made things easier for the consumer or for the public at large. And it need not be a social service. You can actually earn profit from it. I think we'll be covering that also in the presentation, right? I mean,
Presentation as
it's
well.
not like some social service that you're doing. You earn from it as well. Just because you don't have to be a cutthroat businessman for that. You can earn comfortably as well if that's what you are. If you feel a bit guilty about using all these resources. But that's how life is. I mean, if you are not into a little bit of aggressive business marketing, then how do you survive in this particular world, especially now?
Yes, I guess the fantastically put forward keyword for the day is survival. And how do we actually survive? First, we need to survive, then we grow, and then we thrive. So the whole objective is to actually stay put and then actually survive. And I guess I've
I'm a bit aggressive in this, in yeah, in at least in the students getting the jobs right now, simply because it's going to be really hard. And students really, I mean, it's just not about BBA. They also have to give in. They also have to add in with some other courses as well, some supplementary courses, which we will talk about also as we proceed further, right, sir?
Yeah, because yes, because we need to keep sharpening our skills. I guess we can't be sticking out with one thing. There are a lot of things that are coming
Not
in,
at all. Not at all.
and
Yeah.
and in this lockdown, a lot of people are actually also indulging and sort of involving in a lot of other courses which they believe is very important for them to build their skills further on. But coming to that, Mr. Anil, I think you should tell our viewers or our listeners the kind of experiences that we've actually had in the past, your job experiences and how you actually reached becoming finally to become an academician and all that you have been through. So that will give us a good idea about about the certain possibilities from your point of view, and I'll give mine as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely talk about my side as well. And after that, you please share your experience as well, because more or less we have all come from the same corporate to the academic side.
Yes, that's the drift that we both had.
Yeah, that's a trip that we all had. That's true. So I worked once I finished my masters in economics. I went and did my MPhil in IIT Bombay, and that kind of gave me a fill up to my career. I mean, uh, I I believe that actually helped me in the later stages of my career, in the sense that I could get my first posting as a job in a UN office, and that was good, simply because international exposure in these times is very much needed. I mean, especially when you're working with a diverse team, and when when corporations are not just limited to the boundaries that you are your physical boundaries. You might have a very globally diverse team in your midst, and if you don't know how to react and how to work with them, I mean, you'll just be at your back foot all the time, and you won't know how to properly communicate as well. So that taught me a lot in the initial stages, and from there on, it just went from strength to strength. But more or less, what happened is, in the corporate sector, for me, I thought that was not my calling. I could see whenever I take these webinars and seminars, I could see people getting interested in the way that I was explaining things, and I thought maybe this is my calling. I can teach people, and so I tried my luck at teaching in academics in Inspiria, and here I am. Now, what about your
Oh,
journey, sir?
oh wow! I think I belong to the generation where dinosaurs ruled the world, and I survived. And
Oh,
I've been in this industry for quite some time. I guess I also started off with after my business degree, and then I did my MBA as well in HR and marketing. And yes, I worked in a lot of industries as well. I started off with a banking career with Citibank, and then to
oh wow.
telecommunication,
Yeah.
yeah, and then into advertisement, and then into consumer electronics, and then I did something which a lot of people want to do, but then they're always scared to do. Is I got
Yeah.
married, and the marital bliss
That
actually took
happens, sir.
me. Yeah, the marital bliss actually took me to a foreign country, and then and for about 17 years, I for about 14 years, I actually taught in Malaysia and in Singapore, and that's where the transformation took place. And I actually decided that I'm going to stick on with academics for quite some time. So overall, it was an interesting experiences that I had in different industries. So it's a for all of you who are listening, it's good that you can try, even if you're interested in sales, for example, you can try sales and marketing in different industries. Like the banking will offer you a different experience. The consumer electronics will be different.
Hmm.
The cosmetic industries, the any industry that you can say, food and beverage industry, all these industries will be absolutely different, and you can actually learn different things from these different industries, and that makes it even more interesting and exciting. Actually, you have to love what you're doing. Now, there's a lot of excitement that certain these courses actually bring about for you. But before that, I think there's another slide, Mr. Anil,
Yeah.
that talks about a few
Things are
facts and
talking.
figures.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Since
pretty
we're talking about the
interesting.
academics, yeah, since we're talking about the academics, I just thought
Yeah,
maybe show this
yeah,
figure where there's almost around 3,000 private BBA colleges in India, and this out of them 662 are public. And as you can see, you look at the number of students that are graduating. Does it shouldn't scare you actually, because that means that there's a huge demand for this kind of students. Otherwise,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Otherwise, why would the students actually waste money every year? So, and look at the average salary package. And this is what Nijang sir was saying actually about the jobs that you can get in different industries, different fields. Try the industry which is paying you more. I mean, maybe that's the trend for that particular year. Or for example, right now it's all about supply chain. So maybe you should look for a particular career in that. And how do you get there? Just maybe a BBA, or also something that you add, like I said, supplementary courses that you can add, certification courses that you can add. It's always good, right, sir?
Yeah. Yes, that's what we suggest for all our BBA students who are watching here who are from non-technical backgrounds is to actually catch up your skills with technology. So you must know how to use Excel very well, because when you get into good business positions, you get into analytics. So you'll have to do
Oh, man. They give you the
what
spreadsheets
yes.
like anything, sir. Yeah, yeah. I'm so sorry to break in, but they
No,
just, the
I know,
first
sir,
you.
because you're an economics guy and you just can't hold it. I can understand that.
Yeah, because that's the first thing that they give you. They give you a spreadsheet and then work your magic on the data. Let's see.
Exactly. You have to churn this data. That data becomes like your God. It becomes everything that you can think about it. So if you can work on how to work on this Excel, and it's very scary initially because there are so many things on Excel. But as you start step by step, it becomes awesomely great to understand the sort of things. It's close to magic that what Excel can do. And what we also expect you to do is to then learn how to create websites and how to get into digital marketing. So you'll have to get into this technological thing to sort of equip yourself and make yourself tech savvy so that you are the in thing of what is required at the market at this point of time.
So that's why it's very important. Like, most of the colleges actually give it out as a part of their own supplementary courses and multidisciplinary courses. So it's very important you actually, when students also look for these kind of colleges, they already look for colleges which actually offer these ancillary courses as well.
Very
So that,
yes, yes.
yeah, so they can add it like we discussed. So they can then add it to their final, degree certificate, and get that edge that they can always get with this kind of certificates, right?
Yes, just the cutting edge that always, and please remember that an educated person is always highly respected in the society. So the trend
Oh,
still goes. The
you
trend
can
still goes. Yeah,
you
and
can say that again, sir. You can say that again.
sorry, it's okay. Uh,
So
why don't you
let's,
tell them about the different popular specializations that we actually have to offer? I mean, the BBA courses usually has to offer in general. I mean, these are very generic ones. If you can just put that slide on, so I guess the kids can actually get a view of that.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was just drinking my water. One sec. Yeah. So
Oh,
like how we were discussing the same things, like different industries, different industries would require different specialization. For example, if you're in the banking and risk and insurance sector, then you need the finance and banking insurance specialization. And like sir said, if you're into marketing and sales, then that's the one for you. Marketing. Accounting is more or less, like I said, we are into spreadsheets, or if you want to analyze statements, financial statements, financial data sheets.
mm,
That is the kind of accounting that we are talking about here. Because if you're talking about mainstream accounting, then maybe BCom might be the course for you. But other than that, if you want a mix of everything, then BBA is the one. And as Nijan sir was saying, how technology is so important right now, I think information technology is something that we have all, mired into in some way or the other. And sir, you want to talk about human resource, because that's something that you will definitely have to talk about since you are the master in it.
oh no, no. I mean, not really a master. I'm like a jack of all trades and master of none. I guess that's what they teach us in business, right? You got to be a jack of all trades. You got to know a little bit of everything, and probably may not be like a master for all of these things. HR, marketing, they all come as a combination in terms of how do we set people's strategy and so on and so forth. But I would also like to sort of advise most of the young people who are aspiring for HR that HR it deals with human resources, but we're treating human as numbers here. So this is you shouldn't confuse this course, which many youngsters do, is like a philanthropic course that when I take HR, it is all about sort of augmenting the lives of people and so on and so forth. And this I have this sort of an emotional attachment with this particular job description that they actually have. So I would like to burst that bubble for all of you that this is not an emotional thing or a social service that we're actually doing at HR, but we're actually churning individuals, and we don't even call it as human resource anymore. We call them as human capital nowadays, because we are now treating them individuals as number. We try to make them not as cost to the company, but like an asset, like a capital that can actually be invested, reinvested, and then more sort of revenues generated from each individual. So yes, that would be very nice, and that would definitely couple with the other strategic sort of
No, I
functions of
agree.
management as well.
I agree. And like even in the case of like, when you're talking about marketing as well, it's just not about marketing that we're talking about. BBA has progressed to such a way that you can also become a market researcher, a market analyst. So that's also come as a purview of these kind of jobs as well. I mean, jobs are now, they are no traditional as such. It's all mixing together. You need to, like you said, be a jack of all trades rather than the master of none, right? So yeah, that's true. And even in the case of finance, it's not just a financial analyst. You're also talking about like a financial advisor, or even a stockbroker. All these things. Maybe exactly a BBA degree might not teach you, but at least it gives you the basics, and then you also add on with your ancillary courses that you take. So yeah, it gives you at least a toe line information about everything. And by the time you're third year, you're a fully developed student with all these skills in your hand.
Yeah, and then if you're still yeah, that's pretty well. But on a very psychological perspective, if you're wondering like what course or specialization should I take up? Should I take up HR, marketing? That is a question that we would suggest that you should be asking yourself and sort of do a self introspection to see where your skill lies.
Yeah, yeah.
On a very general level, you can actually figure out in terms of whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. So if you're an individual who's extrovert, highly your social skills are very high, you're mildly flirtatious in nature, you love to be with people, you like to be the center of attraction, you love to move people, then definitely yes,
Being the answer.
the 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 marketing element of the business may be good for you, but that comes with the warning that just because you're highly social doesn't mean that you could be very good with products, because people are different, products are very static, and people are very dynamic, so there's a lot of difference that goes with it. Sometimes we think that we are very good with the HR. Like I made this mistake when I was young in college. People thought that I'm very good with people, so I should take up HR. So I took up HR and realized that it's really not about people. And I changed scenes and games, and I realized that marketing is more about people. It was all
Yeah.
about people. Yeah, HR sounds human, but then marketing has got more humane aspect more than what HR
Humane.
actually has. Yeah, and I actually loved marketing, and I've been just doing nothing but marketing and also teaching marketing, and definitely HR as well, because they sort of gel well
It-
together.
it- It's good that you mentioned this because, some students get confused whether I should go for finance and, banking and insurance. One thing, students, I mean, if that's what you're looking at, then you should have really some good quantitative skills. And that's something that I realized as well, because my first job, like I said, it all was all about spreadsheets and data sets, and a bit of banking and insurance was there in my internship at least. I didn't really like it simply because there was a lot of calculations and all. So if it's your cup of tea, yes, go ahead with it. You never
Mhm.
know, because you might be a real magician, a real wizard at numbers.
Yep.
And yeah, so that might be a cup of tea, go for it. But there might be some students whether confused whether I should go for finance or banking and insurance. uh, Students, what you have to realize is this is not the usual run of the mill banks that banking jobs that you're talking about. We are talking about investment banking, we are talking about commodity market exchanges. These are the kind of financial markets that we are talking about. So that's not something that you get right out of your degree. You need to have a bit of internship support as well. Sometimes certificate courses. All these do add up to it. So that's the only time we should take banking and insurance, is what I feel, sir. Just giving a bit of heads up to the students, sir.
Oh, that's absolutely great, sir. That's exactly what I wanted to say, but I'll just put it in different words as well. That on the specializations that we're talking about, and you just mentioned about whether individuals are actually good with quantitative skills, and I guess it's also about willingness and ability. Sometimes we are good with quantitative skills, but we are not really interested to actually do something of that nature. So if
Yeah.
you're good and if you're good and you like numbers, then you should take up things like finance and accounting and banking and insurance. But if you're good with figures, that's a different ball game altogether. That's when marketing, information technology, and human resource actually comes into play, because creativity is more on the marketing and IT and HR side as compared to accounting, banking, insurance, and finance, which are more static in nature in terms of they follow a very straightforward rule and regulation where there are a little bit lesser permutations and combinations to actually use on that. I think so. We should move on to the next one where these guys can.
I was
Uh,
wondering whether we should go to the next slide or not.
yes, I think let's look at what are the benefits that we can actually gain from this particular course. And
Yeah, that's one thing, sir. This BBA degree, it's not like limited to just BBA general. There's so many other focus subjects as well. For example, in our own college, we have like BBA entrepreneurship, BBA accounting, BBA global, BBA
BBS
sport.
Sports.
Yeah, and after all, we also have BBA hospital, and then we have the BBA general, which is what we started out with. But so you see, but it's not limited to a particular course or a particular, a stream. You can have any stream that you want. Even in case of retail management, you have BBA in retail management. You have BBA in telecom. So there are a lot of various streams that you can get your BBA degrees from. That's one thing that I really like about the BBA course. What do you say, sir?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a wherever there is scope and market, and then we sort of get more into detail into it. We sort of spearhead into that so that we can actually create more opportunities for the trade, for individuals in the trade. In return, creates more employment. In return, creates more wealth.
Yeah.
In return, creates more disposable income, and then it sort of helps the economy. So it's a win-win situation. I mean, as the saying says that nobody wants to be rich, but it's always nice to die in a Mercedes Benz. Uh,
Who's that, sir?
I said it myself. I just made that up, and
Yes,
and
yes.
and yeah. So we can actually see there are different sort of scopes that we can actually see on this particular degree here. And as we talked about the versatility of the business degree, as what we talked about now, there's so many things that you can actually do after you've actually finished this particular degree. And it creates this managerial focus, because the whole objective of doing this business degree is that you actually start managing a particular business, either through ownership or whether through sort of an employment in a particular business. So sort of help you create a strategy. Now, when you think about a strategy, it is just about the sort of action plan that you can have. How do I convert a small idea into a very lucrative business that sort of generates enormous amount of money, for that matter? Let's not even use the word revenue to sound it too technical, but money.
Yeah.
I got a lot of money. So I needed, and this is what is from the inception of the BBA course as
Exactly.
well.
Business. How do you bootstrap? How do I make a business plan? Where is the financial plan coming out? How is it going to materialize? All these are questions that a business person will have in the initial stages.
That's absolutely right. Where the sources of revenue will come from, where do I get all this money, the bootstrapping part, and then also all these options that I can actually look into, the cheapest lucrative options. Those are the things that we actually train students to actually understand through, not just through classroom activities, but through many other stuff that we do in the
Correct, correct.
in the
You
college
need
as
it.
well.
Sir. You need it. Sir. I mean, the
Yeah.
BBA needs some kind of activity or the other. You're not going to grow otherwise.
Yes, and in many institutions, the access to an MBA, it becomes much more easier if you're a BBA student, because then your fundamentals are already clear. So
Correct.
if you're aspiring to sort of get into a master's degree and then eventually do a PhD, like many people like to do, set their career streams on those aspects. I mean, a BBA, an MBA, and then a PhD in management. Then this gives you a better access into understanding the nature of the subject, and also from the sort of entry requirements that the institution may actually have, where a certain priority or privilege may be granted to BBA students based on their prior experience on the subject and also on the requirements of the subject. And
Yes.
definitely, yes, great jobs, right? Great salaries,
Uh,
awesome.
I think the students might be a bit, doubtful about this particular aspect of the BBA course. simply because last time we had this blog also on this BBA course, and there were a lot of comments as to I'm not so sure that a BBA course can actually get this much amount of money. It actually depends also on you, students. Like I said, how much you add on to that course as well. Just a BBA degree course will just be like any other college run-of-the-mill course. You need to keep adding on to the your particular
You,
skill set.
you want to create value to that particular course. That's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, what's the difference?
Mm.
So, I mean, that jobs and salaries, it's all on your, hands as well. Of course, it'll give you a particular, baseline from where you can start. But as such, if you want to command those, 60K and that too for a BBA course, it's like too much when you look at it in that way. But then Nijang sir would disagree. He would say that, a salary is, I mean, you and your skill set actually demands your salary, right? It's not the other way around.
It goes the other way around. I mean, I just one of my student who I taught a couple of years ago actually got into a company here out of the country, but now his pay package is 32 or 33 lakhs as in INR per year, and he's just 21 years old,
Oh
and
my.
yeah, that is awesome. So
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 what do we do?
no, that is one exception that you can actually see, and then sometimes you go into the lower exceptions as well. But an advice for all of you is now with the cutthroat competition and sort of everybody pressing on any aspect of the niche and markets they can actually capture on now. Revenues and money doesn't come from one single source.
That's
That would be keeping all your eggs in one basket. So what you all need to do is then invest in various other places as well. So you got trickles coming in from different places. You got trickle from this particular investment, trickle from this business, trickle from this employment, trickle from this another part-time employment. And then when you create and combine all these trickles, that will create the required revenue flows. And then you got to set yourself these targets as well. We all reach our destinations in our own created self-created vehicles in our own tempo and with the own given set velocities that we actually have and the limitations of our own created perceived gravitations as well. But eventually we all reach there. Trust me, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a very awesome journey that you actually have. But there are a few things that we also want you to consider about the corporate world, and Funnel Self should actually sort of put that particular slide on, and then probably you can start off, and then I'll follow you so that at least they get an idea of how it is like in the corporate world and what are the things that they should keep in mind when they actually start work and when they actually join organizations and institutions as well.
Yeah, that's something that is very important because most of the students, once they leave their, the student life, it's a bit of a transition into your first job, and you don't really get it in the first day, right? Like for my first job, I coolly walked in 10, 15 minutes late, and I got a nice telling from my boss. He was a really good guy. The line that he said, I will never forget. He told me, Anil, this is your first job. You should be 15 minutes early, not 15 minutes late. So so that's something I mean, and since that's only because he was from another country. Okay, I mean, I expected, like, anybody else would not create such an issue, but you don't know what culture they come from. Maybe they are into 8 to 5 work, and after that it's their leisure time, and they give strictly enough time for the leisure. They don't like this getting disturbed during the leisure time. So that's the culture that you might have to face when you go to for your first job. The teams that you might get in your job, like I was discussing, it might be a multi cultural team, might be from different places altogether. I had a team which was from Peru, Philippines, US, and it was a tough job managing the entire team. But that's
Exactly.
what
Yeah,
in
yeah,
some way.
very true, sir. Very
Yeah,
true. That is the challenge that most of us will have. These students will actually have in a heterogeneous group, they're trying to, and they have to strive to make homogeneous sense. So that would
yeah,
be a big challenge because
yeah,
it's going to be
that's
all mixed. It's going to be all mixed cultures, and you have to be very, very open-minded with all that
very
stuff.
careful too.
Yeah. And coming back and the second point of what sir I said, after that, we actually have to understand that we have to be absolutely competent in our job. Cutthroat competition, you got
Correct,
to be
correct.
competent, otherwise you don't survive. Now, many years ago, probably we were taught in school that we should not be greedy, right? But
Yeah,
but right now, I would say I want you guys to be greedy. Greedy not in order to be snatching things from the other people, but to ensure that what is with you grows. Because greed now, boys and girls, is the fuel to your ambition. And the reason why we loved Sachin Tendulkar and why we like Virat Kohli is because these guys were greedy for runs. They wanted sixes and fours. We wanted to see that score growing. And that's the
right.
score that needs to grow on your personal chart as well. So you cannot be just taking singles. You got to hit those sixes and fours. You got to take that risk. It's got to be a calculated risk, but you got to take that risk because, as what they say, he who hesitates is lost. So you got to take these calculated risks in order to create yourself in terms of in competition as well. And what really sways a lot of people down, boys and girls, is this one word coming on the next point. I like to explain this, Anil sir, and then you can continue. Is on how we maintain relationships. A lot of people succumb to this because we sort of get very emotional. So the rule here in business relationships is we never mix business and pleasure. So
Correct.
business is separate, and the business and the pleasure will absolutely be separate. So you'll have to understand that a business relationship is purely business, a state of being busy. We have no time for any other activities, which could, in other words, turn detrimental. And I just watched this movie, Dear Zindagi, yesterday, recommended by one of a very special friend of mine, and.
Okay.
Shah Rukh Khan actually said that when you see these patterns happening in your life, all of a sudden, that is when you should be extra careful, because a genius is a person who knows when to stop. So please remember that
Very
these
nice.
relationships make you, and these relationships break you as well. So focus on building network.
To
That is
continue
very important.
To
Yes.
continue further, sir, I mean, that's true. Since relationships and all are supposed to be, you can't mix, business relationship with your personal relationships as well, and that's something that you have to, actually delineate. But coming to that, when we come to the next topic, which is politics, which is usually there in office, it's something that you can't avoid. I mean, you go there, you find that people are already mixed up, and they have already had their groups, their teams, and you're the outsider. You're coming in, and you're trying to gel in. So it might there are a lot of times when you feel that the person that you've just made a friend is your life partner, and you might end up telling everything to him or her. That's something that you should avoid.
Yes, yes,
That's
very
one
true,
thing that,
very true.
that I had to face as well. I'm very open about certain of my to certain some of my colleagues. I think that they're my best friends. And this was my first job as well. So I kind of told a lot of things which I was not supposed to say. And later on, I had to regret it.
Yeah, very true. Very, 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 very,
That comes as a
very
part of
true.
relationship. But what I was talking about politics is, you don't know what kind of relationship they have. So you might actually be coming in and meddling in, in these kind of affairs and these kind of relationships.
And
So
and
it's
these relationships, yeah, and these relationships are not just limited to the face-to-face, one-to-one contact, but also through social medias and any other sort of media mediums through which
it's always
you
there,
can
sir.
actually have human interactions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
office gossip is always there. I mean, it's not like as if you can't be or won't be a part of it. Then you'll be looking. Then you look like as if you're an outsider or somebody, a snitch or something. So it's okay, but then you don't have to necessarily stay there in your first year at least. That's something that you should, because people will be having a lookout on you. And just like when I'm talking about, people are going to notice you. Nijan sir, what do you think? I mean, they should definitely. Other things also are noticeable, right? Like for example, your dressing, your
Oh
clothing.
yes, yes. It's a 360-degree thing. It's a holistic approach. Everything matters. What you wear, how you speak, accent, voice modulation. Everything matters. It's absolutely holistic approach. Even with the way you smell, all these things really matter a lot when you're actually into this sort of
Corporate
in the corporate sector. That's very important. And to quickly wrap it up, also that we also have to understand that do not fall into a love affair with the institution or the organization that you work, because that sort of ruins a lot of things. Because you have to understand that
this point, right?
you can't quantify love, right? And yeah, and organizations are here that churn numbers. And as what the word goes here, it says that these organizations are not democracies or charities or therapy centers at all.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are there, they exist to be profitable, to make money, and they've hired you, and they hire you, they have hired us, and all of us who are working to make more money. That's the deal. So the more money you make, the more money the company makes, the more company makes, the more you get in return. And that's how the cycle goes. It's a vicious cycle, but it's a beautiful cycle.
Yeah, it is, but that's where some people might be uncomfortable with that cycle as well, and that's where you actually start up your own startup. If you're like so uncomfortable, or if you can't deal with the corporate setup, maybe you should start your own business. And that's one thing as well that the career teaches you, right? This BBA career, there are not just one option; there are so many other options that you can go for.
Oh yes, there are 1,001 other options that you can actually think about a BBA. We are a bit sort of strained with time at the moment, but you can always get in touch with us. All those are watching us, and then you can always get in touch with us, and we'll sort of help you in the best way that we can. And
So
I guess
you want
it's
to put up this last?
yeah, the last one which we actually talked about, and I guess Anil sir, as the culture goes, you are the younger one, so you get the privilege of having the last bite of the cake.
Oh, that's okay, sir. I would love to, but then I have a feeling that you've got a better punch.
No, you can go ahead, sir. You can go ahead with this. As okay, we'll do it together. You see, this whole concept of BBA will last as long as there is the human race lasts, because as long as there is human race, there's this urge and the search to actually have this material aggrandizement, to actually gain more, to acquire, to accomplish. And so as long as there'll be a curious assumption on material consumption, okay, there will stand strong a BBA graduate who will always create the recommendation for satisfaction. What I'm trying to say, or what we're trying to say here, is this will go on and on, as what it goes in on the movie that I said. It says it's going to go for Hamesha and forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess that should wind us up for today's session in Jumping. We are still influenced by the corona, and we will still get over this. I know it's stressful to stay at home, but I would also wish all the best to all the students who are watching this, and thank you for being here. Be good, don't be very naughty, enjoy yourself, make a difference, and look forward for tomorrow. God bless you all from my side. A good day, and Jai Hind. Anil sir.
Yeah, and same from my side as well. Stay safe and healthy. And like Nijung sir said, please try getting yourself occupied in this lockdown. It's been extended for you as well. So it's something that you can do to take up some course, get some discipline in life. At the same time, also, enjoy your life as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And before I leave, you can watch out for my heart lights at the back. I don't know if they look like hearts. They're very cute ones. There are plenty of hearts I have here. So thank you so much. And God bless you all. I guess we'll see you when we see you. So Anil, can you please switch off? Can you please sort of end this session?
I'll do that. I'm doing it right now.